All right. I did it. I decided to just stay and I wanted to go ahead and get done with 5th chapter and read it to y'all. I packed up everything and then realized that I had done the 5th chapter, but I did not make the video. So I'm going to read the 5th chapter. Hopefully it's not a letdown after the other 4 chapters. So yeah, let me know what you think. This is the final chapter of the story. It's a short story that's going to be going into the anthology Jailbreak. So if you enjoy it, definitely check out Jailbreak so that you can have a copy of it on your Kindle. I don't know if there's going to be a physical copy made or not. I hope that there is, but I don't know that there will be. So we'll find out. September 10th is when that comes out, and you can already pre-order it on Amazon. I would just type in Jailbreak or type in Heather Dowell. Dowell is like do well at school. If you type in my name, then you'll see Jailbreak because there's multiple things called that. Thanks, Tish. I'm so glad that I got done with it and I beat my deadline and got done with it early because I'm going to be with my mom for the next couple of days helping her move. So now I don't have that stress of being on deadline at the same time. I also had a conversation with my editor about my book, You Are the Father, which is also on pre-order, which is my first foray into adult contemporary romance. The characters are 35, so I've never written characters that old before. I say that old, but that's only 5 years older than me. So I'm closer in age to these characters than I am the young adult characters that I typically write, even though I kind of feel closer to the young adult characters. Because even though I've been married for like a decade now, I don't have kids or anything like that. So I'm just like, I'm kind of still like that new adult phase. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and read the 5th chapter. I would love to get y'all's feedback on the story. I'm going to be, the official day for my editor to start working on it is the 17th. So I need to have any changes completed by the 17th. And then she's only going to have a couple days to edit it and for me to do my final revisions because it's due to the person that's compiling the anthology. Margot Collins Bond is the one that's over the anthology. So she's going to be compiling it on the 25th, and then it'll be out on September 10th. So this is all happening super quickly, and I'm glad that the story, at least the part that's going to like, I just sent it to my alpha readers, and then of course any feedback that I get here, I'll definitely take into account. And then the final version will be sent to my editor within the next few days. So without further ado, I'm going to read chapter 5. And then if y'all are still on here and y'all have any comments, I will read those. And we can have some like two-way conversation feedback type thing. I'm really good with constructive criticism because I just want to make the story as best as it can be. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and read chapter 5. And then after this video, I'm going to get out of here and I'll be gone for a couple of days. So you will not be seeing me because I'll have no internet. But anyway. All right, here we go. Chapter 5. Wake up, Thalia says. I groan. The bed is far too comfortable. Malin, today's the day. All yesterday we spent as a goodbye. I couldn't let our bond end with a fight, and I thought a perfect day together might get her to change her mind. But by nightfall, it was clear that wasn't the case, and we both cried, telling each other how much we'll miss each other, and that we love each other. If you have a suggestion for how to take out 3 of those each others and change it, please let me know. Otherwise, my editor will do it. Though my love is one of an unrequited nature, hers is one of kinship. I can't force her to be in love with me. The only thought helping me go through with this is that absence will make our love grow fonder. And when I do die, she'll want me, but it's probably wishful thinking. I drag out breakfast, asking Ragnar questions about the academy before he clamps a bracelet around my wrist. If you wander too far from me, you'll feel a shock and I'll get an alert, so don't try to run. So I'm not really free. Think of it as a house arrest. If you do well long enough, you'll be pardoned. But either way, you need the same schooling. From what I've heard, you're an advanced dragon. My school will give you all the skills you need. But after the descaling, It may take at least a month for your new ones to come, and you'll be in a weakened state. You'll have no desire to leave the comforts of the grounds, I assure you. You've got this, Thalia says as we walk out the doors. I shield my eyes from the burning sun. I haven't seen daylight in a year. My eyes take a moment to adjust, and it feels like I'm seeing color for the first time. I spin around slowly, but there's no view of the river. I must have walked miles underground to get here, and there's no sign of civilization. Trust him, Thalia says. Easy for you to say. I get in the black SUV and Ragnar drives off. Would you like to listen to the radio? My heart races. Music? It's been so long. Do I dare? I look at him hesitantly, and he gives me a nod. My hand slowly reaches out and adjusts the knob to a familiar station. I recline my seat all the way back and let the music soothe me. When we arrive at the hospital, Ragnar punches the combination of two floors on the elevator and we descend. When the doors open, the floor is quiet. Plastic wrap separates rooms like a horror film where an alien will jump out at any minute. Instead, we walk to the end and find a nice hospital bed made up with white sheets, a metal table with utensils, and a female doctor nearly my height. He's so young, she says. Yes, but this is necessary. She holds her hand up. I'm not one to question the elites. Very well, I'll leave you to it. I grab his arm on his way out, then drop my hand. I don't trust him either. You'll be fine, he says, taking his leave. This is going to be a long and painful process. I need you to midshift so I can start with your back. She shoves the long, thin needle into my spine. After the initial pinch, cool liquid spreads, and I relax face first on the bed. There's a tug here and there, but whatever was in the syringe keeps me calm and still. Then a scream comes. I cover my ears only to realize the scream is my own. I had to have help rolling over, and when she got to my lower extremities, it felt like a roaring fire ready to consume me. Only Thalia's push of serenity kept me calm. But the more the scales come off, the deeper the ache in my chest grew. Why did she want this? Yes, she told me why, but why couldn't I be the guy she loves in a romantic way? How is any of this fair? You're fading, Thalia whispers. Follow your heart no matter what, and know that you are always worthy. Try to find happiness. I love you, Malin. I love you too, Thalia. And then she's gone, and I weep as the final scale is pulled. I shift to human. mm, I shift to human form, bringing on sleep to escape the physical and emotional pain. I barely hear the buzzing sound as I wake up in a chair to pieces of hair floating to my lap. Now you're presentable, Dean Ragnar says. Then the stylist, Dean Ragnar says when the stylist swivels me toward the mirror. I blink awake, still drained from the descaling. My hair no longer reaches my shoulders, and I can't use it to shield my face, my mark. I feel so vulnerable I want to cry, but dragons don't cry, so I bite my lip. This short-haired guy isn't me, and my skin is pink from the trauma my midship endured. No, the lightning scar gives me away, and as much as I hate the reminder of how I got it, it's now the only part of Thalia I get to hold on to. Not with a special cream, and like I said, far fewer know about your situation than you think. You'll be able to redeem yourself at Arthurium, and I hope you'll find my son to be a suitable companion. What happens if I don't? Your release is conditional. I'm your ward. If you don't want him as a soul bond, it can't be forced. But if you refuse to be of service to him and myself, I'll have no use for you, and you will be returned to your cell. I had to pull many strings to get you out. Do you understand? Yes. Good. Then it's time I show you the academy. I doubt you'll have any want to return once I do. It may be a school for the unbonded, but it is also the one with the highest academic prestige. And since it is the meeting hub for most of our society's political functions, you'll find it is quite luxurious. Will there be bacon? As much as you like. Then I will try my best and bid my time while planning to escape. So that's the end of chapter 5 and the end of the short story. So basically, Arthurium Academy is a serial series that I'm going to be doing with Nigella Carter, which will probably start coming out August of next year. We want to get a couple of episodes done before we start releasing so that we're not stressed. This is just meant to be a fun project about dragons and witches. And when we started plotting it out, we came up with 8 novels and we plotted them. 8 novels. Yeah, that's a lot of novels to plot in like 1 sitting, 2 sittings. It was ridiculous. I'm like the plot master, I think. I'm just like, this needs to happen, this needs to happen, this. So yeah, basically this story, Malin's story, his is like kind of like the prequel episode, if that makes sense. It kind of like sets it up for him to be at the academy. And then the other character, and for some reason I've forgotten her name, which is like insane because it's a main character, but I've forgotten her name right now because I've just been so focused on Malin. So her character, she is going to wind up at the school too. Because it's the school for the unbonded. So the people that haven't found a bond, a soul bond, by the time they are 16, at the end of like before the next school year, they wind up going to different academies, like colleges almost, where they are educated in the skills that they will need to be a part of their societies as dragons and witches. And they work together. The dragons and the witches are the people that bond together. So you don't have 2 dragon bonds. It's a dragon and a witch. And you'll find out throughout the series why they are paired together, but it has to do with their magical abilities and how that like feeds off of each other. But there's lots of secrets and societal sabotage and stuff that's been going on too. So there's going to be a lot of like political things happening in the background, where you don't really know that it's political things that are happening. You think that it's other things that are happening, but you'll see. But anyway, so yeah, I'm excited about it. And so the first episode that we do in the series might be a combination of this story as well as how the other character gets to the academy. And then the second episode will be the first episode where they'll both be in the same place. So it'll be interesting to see how we do that. I like the flow of how this one worked with just having Malin's chapters and not inserting hers in between. And I think that readers might enjoy that more too. So you can kind of stick with one character. So what we might do is the first episode might be the first half of the episode will be just Malin, and then the second half will be just her. And then by the time the second half comes along, because their storylines will entwine, like they're going to super entwine, then it will be like almost every other chapter will be each of them. So you kind of like get to see what's going on, but you got that first episode to kind of get bonded with one character by themselves. They will have interactions by the time the second episode comes along, even though the first episode won't, because he's in the prison and she is where she's at. So originally, when we were plotting this out, we had wanted them to be a romantic pair. Like we wanted it to be a romance and we wanted these 2 characters to go together. However, we decided that as we were developing the characters, that may or may not occur naturally. So we decided we're not going to force our characters to do anything. So we don't know who's going to be romantically involved. So even though there's going to be the dual perspectives with a girl and a boy, does not mean that those 2 are going to be soul bonded, even though that was initially our thing that we were going to do. And that's traditionally what happens when you read dual POV books, is that they wind up together. So no promises there, but that's also good news, because that means that you can just be excited with each episode that we bring out, because you never know what's going to happen. We pretty much decided to throw out the entire plot for the 8 books, and just take it one episode at a time and let the characters guide it. And the only thing that will really be planned out that we need to know is the political things and like the bad guy things that are happening in the background. But other than that, we're just going to let our characters run wild. So if you want a thrilling thing, then that will definitely be it. And I will tell you that my co-author, Nigella Carter, her writing is extremely funny. So that character is constantly going to be making everyone laugh just by the way that she thinks. Like her character voice is just so funny. And the other thing that we're kind of going to do that's going to be slightly unique is that I do write Malin's perspective and she writes the girl's perspective. And we're both going to take control over our characters. However, we're also going to go in and add. So we will literally be writing all of the chapters together, but we also kind of have like control over one character. And there will be some episodes where you get more than the 2 perspectives. So there might be 3 perspectives or 4 perspectives. We have 4 characters that we think could be very useful for the story for you to be inside their head at different points. And then there's other characters where you might just get like a one-off chapter with them, just to see like their quirky personalities. We do have a lot of characters who kind of mimic Harry Potter characters. So if you like those personalities, you will definitely see those reflected in the book. For instance, there's this one character and she reminds me so much of Luna Lovegood, but like Luna Lovegood, if you just even amplify the weirdness, like she talks to birds and stuff. And she has a bird that's like her companion thing, like her familiar. She has a bird familiar. So yeah, it'll be interesting. We've got lots of stuff planned for this that's going to make it really funny. And the setting itself is very magical, like very full of like nature. And so the classrooms, for instance, you might have a classroom that has like one of those big huge windows that you see in like the witchy shows, with like the glass, but some of the glass is broken out, and then like the wood is deteriorating and there's moss growing on the inside of the building. Like I found so many pictures on Pinterest where I'm like, yes, that's where they need to do this class, and that's where they need to do this class. And there's like this one where it's almost like it's dark, like it's almost like a well, like a well for water, but extremely big. And it goes down like 100 feet. And it's like an amphitheater all the way around this well. So there's like rooms and levels in this well underground. And that's where they do like their incantations and stuff. So it amplifies their voices and creates these spells. So there's lots planned, and I hope y'all are excited. So yeah, this is going to be in the anthology Jailbreak. And then later next year, around August-ish, probably, will be when we start releasing the episodes. We're planning on releasing the episodes every month. So it'll be like a monthly thing. And each episode will be around like 10 to 20,000 words. So for instance, what I just read you, the whole thing was like 6,000 words, I believe, something like that. Nigella is a bit of a longer writer, and I'm more of a concise writer. And she will be like popping in on my chapters, so that should lengthen them whenever she adds her words. So yeah, this was 5 chapters for me, and it was 6,300 words. So I would say that's pretty typical. So the episodes will be about 10 chapters each. So that could be anywhere from 10,000 to 20,000 to 25,000 words, that will be coming out every month. So we are already kind of preparing for that. We have a group on Facebook if you want to join it. That's all about like, it's like a fantasy group. It's called Readers of the Round Table. And it's got like a bunch of like dragon stuff, and we do questions and everything. I hadn't did anything on it this month or last month, but before that we had a lot of content that was coming out like 3 times a week. So we've both just been busy lately, so we hadn't been putting content on it. But we will definitely be getting back into that. So if you love like the show Merlin, then you'll love it and you'll love the series that we're doing, because that was kind of the inspiration to do with like dragons and witches. And there is the dean's son, Ragnar the Fourth, is like the prince in Merlin, and Malin is kind of like Merlin personality wise. So you'll definitely see the whole like Arthurian tropes, and then you'll have the Harry Potter vibes, and probably some like Charmed and stuff like that as well. So you're going to get like all the witchy medieval, all of those feels, even though it's like modern day world. But I'm going to go ahead and go because my mom called. So I just hung up because I was still in this, but I'll get to call her back. She's probably worried because she thought I was leaving because I was packing before I decided to edit the chapter. But anyway, thanks for watching. And Tish says, too cute with bacon. Sounds good. Love dragons and witches. 8 novels is a lot. Yeah, it was a lot. So we both decided we just don't want to stress ourselves. So we'll just start the series. There might be breaks in between, but we'll definitely come to some sort of conclusion with the series. But we know where it's headed. So that's good. But like the details of it, we just threw them all out the window. So these characters are just going to take control of the story. It's going to be like a soap opera for dragons and witches by the time we're done with it, with like crazy things happening. So yeah, I hope everyone will be excited. And then Tish says, wow, I'm intrigued. All Luna. Yeah, I like Luna too. But anyway, yeah, I could stay on here forever. So I'm going to go ahead and get off and get out. I'm just going to leave in my nightgown because I don't care. I'm just that kind of person. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go out in my nightgown, get in my car, get me some fast food, go to my mama's, help her get rid of some clothes. We have donated over 30 bags worth of clothes between the like 5 people that had lived there at one point. Because it was like my grannies had clothes there, my papa had clothes there, my mom, my little brother, my dad, and my Aunt Kim. So it's like 6 people's worth of clothes that were still there. Even my sister had clothes there, and even I have clothes there because I would get rid of them from my place, and then my mom would like wear my clothes. So she's like, if it fits. But anyway. All right. You be safe too, Tish. And I'll see y'all probably in a couple days. If you liked this whole journey of listening to me read a story, then you might also like T's wedding date. I think the first like 10 chapters up, and those chapters are quite a bit longer, which means a lot of watch time. If you wanted to watch those, and I tried to do the different voices from each character. T is a young girl who's going to be entering her freshman year of high school. I might up her age. I'm not sure. I just don't know that there's much of a market for like 14-year-old girls, where adults want to read about that. So I want to be able to make money off of the series. So I might have to age them up and not have them be freshmen in high school. I'm not sure, but there's going to be like a trilogy, and I've already have it all planned out. But T is from Vietnam, and her mom winds up getting a visa or whatever to come to the United States, and she has 90 days to get married. So kind of like that, the 90 days show where it's like 90 days before they get married and then the 90 days after they get married, that sort of thing. So that's been approved. And T, which is my main character, she's a violinist. She does not want to come to America, and she thinks love is crap because her father left her and her mom when she was little because she was a girl, and there was like, you could only have so many children. He wanted a boy, which might sound like a stereotype, but that actually came straight from the experience of one of my friends in high school. She was from China, and her father divorced her mother because he wanted to have better chances at having a son, and she didn't want to keep trying. So they divorced over that. So it happens. So I put little tidbits like that into the story. There's always things from real life that inspired the stories. Even this dragon story had some stuff in it. Like, I was in the military, so I know what it's like to not see sunlight for a long time. Um, I went one time like 65 days without seeing sunlight. By choice. I was on a boat, so I just stayed below. So most of the time I was below water. Um, yeah. So anyway, I have got to get off this. Oh, but yeah, if y'all have any questions or you want me to make a video about like the things in this book that came from real life stuff, let me know. And I have other books as well that I could talk about. And if y'all want me to read any stories in the future, let me know. I do have 2 novels that are out. We do not have the money to get an audiobook, so those might be an option for me to read aloud. So I've got Unwrap My Heart and Unleash My Love. However, they both have quite a bit of cussing and I don't cuss. So I would just have to skim over those words or like go beep so you know that there's a cuss word and keep reading. So yeah, I don't know if y'all wanted me to try these. They would take quite a while for me to read because they are full-length novels, as you can see. And then I do have audiobooks out as well if you like listening to stories rather than reading them. So I have an audiobook out right now for Three Misfortunes, which is a Halloween short story. Half of it is told in the perspective of a teenager named Dove, who was a witch. And the other half of it is told in the perspective of a like middle-aged man who's a psychic, and he's British. So our narrator does the British voice and he does the teenage girl Southern voice, like lots of Southernness in there. And the other accent is very Yorkshire and it's very thick. I cannot do it. But anyway, that's available now on Amazon. And if you're willing to do a review of it and you don't have the credits to get it on Amazon or something, just message me. Like find me on Twitter or something, one of my links, and I can send you an audiobook code so that you can listen to it for free. I also have another short story that's even shorter than this one. This one is about the same size as the one I just read you. It's like 6,900 words, so it's just a little bit longer by like a page or two. So the other one is called Last Card Standing, and the ebook for that is free on Amazon. So if you type in my name, Heather Dowell, then you can pop it up. You can also always put in Unicorn Nightporium LLC because all my stuff is under that publishing name, so it'll also pop up. Except for the Jailbreak, because that's an anthology, and I'm not the publisher of that anthology. But anyway, Last Card Standing also has an audiobook, but for some reason, Amazon still has yet to put it through the approving process, and it's been like 45 days. So I'm about to have to contact them and get onto them and tell them to hurry up because it wasn't supposed to take more than 30 days. And I submitted them at the same time. So I don't know why Three Misfortunes, which is the one that is longer, took so long. But anyway, so eventually I'll have codes for that. And I'll let y'all know. There's also trailers and stuff that have been made by my co-author for Three Misfortunes. So if you want to check out the trailer, that will let you listen to a couple of minutes of our narrator speaking so that you'll get a feel for that. So anyway, I'm actually going to get off now. I'm really hungry. And my husband even popped in here like, why are you still here? So I'm going to go. But again, thanks so much for watching, and I will see y'all for the next thing. If you have suggestions for what you want me to do next, please let me know. All of my content is going to be like this, just kind of like here, talking to you guys, very natural. That's just kind of how I want to do it. So I'm here for you. What do you want me to do? And yeah, bye.